You don't need this. I'm taking this. And I've ripped out his pancreas.
Oh boy.
He didn't need all that blood.
Listen, a man can survive without many of his organs, and I decide how many he needs.
But just like you'll do with the rest of us tonight.
Always.
But in the meantime, do the thing where I link bomb.
Link Bob! I'll make you leave the one that you're with, start a new relationship. That's how it's gonna be.
You okay over there, Zeke? Oh, do they like the box?
The small furred creatures enjoy cardboard.
Well, he recently ordered a thing that came in a rather large box, and he decided to turn it into a fort asshole for the cats. And he's just standing over there smiling at his work because the cats love it.
One of these days, there will be a proper scientific paper posted about the actual reason why cats love box, as opposed to all other containers. I assume because shelter and crunchy.
Like, it's so weird because if they leave, it's also been shown that if you leave a box, like out in the middle of the woods, and a mountain lion comes across it, they will also go into the box.
All cats, they love boxes.
I remember Zoo a few years ago gave a bunch of tigers and lions and stuff cardboard boxes of appropriate sizes, and they were like, "Aw, yes, box."
They love the fucking boxes.
I think that was the same zoo that for enrichment around Halloween gives the big cats pumpkins to smoosh and smash and crunch.
Yeah, for some reason, watching just giant cats go to town on produce is so satisfying and fun to watch.
Same thing with watching elephants go to town on like those giant pumpkins, because they also eat it, and it's just like they get a good treat. Just the sound that a giant pumpkin makes when an elephant steps on it.
You ever seen a corgi eat a head of lettuce? It's amazing. I'm not gonna watch it right now, but YouTube recommended to me Peter Brown turning a pineapple on a lathe, and I'm gonna have to watch that later.
I've seen that already. It's glorious.
I bet it's horrible. Alright.
Okay, I am done doing the Linky Bomby thingy.
I have a ring scar like no one's business. Alrighty then. Well, is everyone ready?
No, but okay.
Don't worry, you don't have to be.
I'm ready, Eddie, Eddie.
My name's not Eddie!
Too bad, Eddie.
Ooh, yeah, Ash, for some reason Morgan's token is on the map in the tundra.
Oh, that's because I had to actually physically put your token and I forgot to delete it off the map.
Oh, okay.
When I installed your new token, I had to actually put it on the field to make it your default token.
Ah, fair.
Because for some reason, Roll20 won't let you just select a default token if it's not on the field.
But then after it's there, it can just be drag and dropped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright then. Well, if everyone's good to begin, we can. I'm hearing no opposition, so we shall. Introduce yourselves. Alright, that's Armored. Danny?
I think it was a case of maybe Armored's got something in his mouth, but I can go ahead and go. Hello, everybody. I am the Danny Boop. I do the stream. I am a bit nervous for tonight's session, but I'm also very anticipatory of it. So, let's see what happens.
Bleh. You called me out the literal second I put food in my mouth.
Yeah,
Fool.
I know. I heard you eat. That's why I did it.
Fool.
Didn't think I was that loud with eating.
If it picks up on your microphone at all, I will hear every detail of your sound. I have stupidly good hearing.
Yeah, because I didn't hear
Okay.
anything. I saw a bubble
Okay,
light up,
then.
and that was it.
Whoa.
But yeah, Armored Hunter. I am currently eating food. Am ready.
Wow.
I am Coco. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not ready.
I am Mythosia. I'm here. I don't know what's gonna happen.
That's fair. Also, to address something, if we are going to have an Andy tonight, they will not be showing up until a good bit into the programming today. We don't know if they're going to be showing up, but we will continue to march on anyways because we don't want to break schedule. And they seem to be okay with us continuing on without them for the moment.
In the name of progress.
Yes. So, for all scenes involved today, it will be assumed Keta is present, just not being particularly reactive today.
Okay, fair.
Baby,
She's
no
drunk.
do talkie.
To be fair, with everything that's happened with Keta lately, no one can blame her.
Baby Angie.
Baby Angie, baby have a trauma.
If we're still in the festival, she's drunk.
Also possible.
Yeah.
Doing a little sippy. Little big sippy.
Having some adult juice.
Just want
But
to mix some
speak-
Valium in there.
Some Valley men?
Valium.
It's a sleep drug.
Oh, okay. I could not understand what he was saying for some reason.
Valium.
Valium, okay.
It's a mood suppressant.
Gotcha. I heard Valium and my brain was like laudanum. And it was just like, that's probably not what he means. That's a very serious drug.
What do you mean? I use it in Darkest Dungeon so my characters don't try to kill each other, and then they do anyways. Because they're all a bunch of dumb idiots.
Oh, wow, it's almost like you got them high on super opium. Anyways,
No!
similar effect.
No!
You're correct. Not opium. I believe it is similar to heroin.
Same root.
But different
Anyway.
effect on the psyche. But
Okay,
yes.
fair. Anyways.
Alright, but we're going to be getting back into things. Starting with you all, you've decided, oh, something wicked. If only we could play copyrighted music. That would be very nice. Oh, I long for the days of DMCA's not existing. But we pick up again with our party, having spent the rest of the previous night enjoying themselves, going about the festivities, the sort of nightlife, food fair, and general drink of the established area. Just in general having a good time, relaxing for a rare change after the day's games. As you all come to into the morning, though, it is hearing a tapping on the door to your cart. As I'm assuming you all would have filed back into the cart to avoid the pricing of this. Or the price of a inn stay.
Well, we were already prepaid for some of the rooms, but
I don't
Yeah.
remember how far in advance you paid for the rooms. Because
5 days.
Okay, then, well, you still don't have that many rooms.
Yeah, Da Vinci would have stayed in the cart anyway.
Okay. So yes, you all hear a tapping on the front door. I guess it's really the back door, technically, of the cart.
Belzy will stumble to the door, a little bit hungover, and push open the door. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello. You just see a little buzzkin with a little messenger hat on its head, and a bag strapped to its side.
Belzy has to adjust her gaze to go downward.
Yeah, they're like the head is like at belly button height for you.
What? Oh.
Hello. I have a package and a letter for, or two letters for one Dravinche, and a letter for one Brimstone. Are they
Oh.
currently within this? And just looks around a little bit. Residence?
I'm pretty sure I can find them somewhere.
Alright.
Brimstone
Present.
Hello, sir. If you could take these for me, please. And the buzzkin produces a small package and two letters set on top of it.
Oh. Thank you.
I'm assuming you
Yes.
take them from it.
Yeah, he accepts the package and the letters. Still
Yes.
working even though it's the festival.
Oh, never an off day for Busy Bee shipping. It gets rather boring if we take fully off days. I'll take off whenever the actual festivities start off, but in the morning we still got to do our running.
Oh, thank you.
Take care then.
Fuck's a bee doing here?
You say as the two smaller ones that are yours wander around.
They're not mine.
They're your groups.
They're not mine.
I claim no ownership of these children.
I did not purchase them.
Fair.
Adopted.
You bought them. Anyways.
Same.
Yeah.
I paid an adop-
Same difference to Failsy.
Sorry. I
Much
paid-
different for Brimstone.
Hello, Mr. Brimstone.
Hey.
I have a letter here for you. And the buzzkin holds out a letter towards you, which is weird because it doesn't really have fingers. It just has like one of those like spindly like bee legs, like how in a cartoon an anthropomorphic bee is drawn. But the letter is
Right.
just sort of staying on the tip of its hand.
So it doesn't really have a hand, it just kind of ends in a point.
Yeah, like a rounded point.
Okay. You just kind of take it. Okay.
All right, those are my shipments. That's my shipments for you all today. I must continue on my route. I hope you all have a fine fare. The wings just start buzzing, and it just takes off into the air.
I never
Oh.
get mail.
Yeah,
That's
just
a pleasant surprise in the morning.
I guess. I wasn't really just kind of looking over. Oh.
Yeah, so I've sent these to you all directly, so you have
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But it's up to you if you would like to read them, either out loud or just to yourself.
Seeing how it's sealed, yeah.
Yeah. Specifically, just for everyone's sake of visual descriptions, Brimstone has received an unaddressed, aside from to him, envelope that is sealed with a simple wax seal with a cracked shield on the front of it. It is it's like a tower shield with a diagonal crack running from the top right corner to the bottom left corner.
And I don't know if Fuzz has ever cracked open a book about crest.
You wouldn't really have knowledge of military insignia.
Yeah.
So yeah, this would not be something that Failsy would have knowledge of. Meanwhile, Dravinci, yours are a little bit different. One of the letters has a... I have to find my own descriptions of my items because it's been a while since I've looked at them, because I sent these a while ago.
I can copy and paste the descriptions if you'd like.
No, I still have them. It's just that we talk a lot in DMs.
Just sent them back to you.
Alright then, yeah, sorry about that. Alright, so one of the things you received was an actual envelope, not just a folded letter, made of a light blue parchment, which the fact that it is properly dyed paper does give some signification of coming from higher standards. The other one is a paper package tied with silk cords. And the last one is a very crisp, nice plain white envelope that has a silver seal on it.
I'm not particularly in the mind to read right now. I'll read them after today's festivities. Da Vinci will kind of set them aside for the time being.
Alrighty. Is Brimstone wanting to open his?
Yeah, you would have. Looking at the seal. Just... Shit.
Yeah, you crack it open, and again, it's up to you whether or not you would like to read the contents out for the sake of stream. Or I can read them in the sender's voice, should you be so interested.
Brimstone wouldn't necessarily read it aloud because he doesn't know what's in there.
That's what I was saying. Not read it aloud in character, but read it aloud for the stream.
I mean, yeah. I can.
Alright.
Hey, Brimstone. I'm not normally one for writing, so you know I wouldn't be doing this if there wasn't a reason. At the time of writing this, I just got some really troubling news from the front that I don't know if I was supposed to. I just happened to overhear a discussion between the ruling parties here on the plateau while moving some documents around in the offices. Don't tell anyone that you don't trust to keep quiet about this. That I'm telling you this, because if this information gets out, it might start a panic. I trust you'll understand this, but apparently something broke through 3 of the 6 main lines of defense we've been able to establish on the Wild Continent. Like they were nothing. All word from the front says that the only reason the thing pulled back is because it was commanded to. If not for that, it would have probably pushed all the way to the landing site. And yes, thing. A single unit. Something big, apparently. Humanoid, like a giant of some sort. No one knows what it is yet, but they just know they couldn't stop it, couldn't kill it, could barely even slow it down. I don't know how much of that report is true, but the voices of those men didn't sound like they were exaggerating, they just sounded scared. I don't know about you, but I don't know if I can sit by and just let men die not knowing how to fight something like that. I don't even know if we on our own, on our best day, could have stood much of a chance. I just know that if I'm given the chance, I'm going to do something. I could really use my brother by my side when I do, or a better idea at least. Much as I hate to admit it, between the two of us, you're the smarter one. I'd love a plan that doesn't end up with one or more of us dead. Pretty sure Keta would have a fit. Whenever you can, though, we need to talk. Your brother, Redemption. brimstone at the end of the letter just... Fuck.
Somber news.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not...
Well, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Well, I think I'd rather wait for everyone to be present. I don't want to explain it twice. I don't really know how much help the rest of you would be, but... I don't know.
Well, maybe it can be another thing after today's festivities. We go over it.
Maybe.
Although, speaking of which, the festivities are still going on. Let's have some breakfast and head out and continue enjoying at least a bit of downtime.
I'm up. Someone say breakfast. What y'all want?
Well, it might be a long day, so whatever will keep us trucking the longest.
I'll make pancakes. There'll be fair food around that we could eat too. It'll be a good day to keep the stomach full in the early day, though. He just scratches his belly a little bit, then walks towards the kitchen. Just washes his hand and sets about making some pancakes.
While that's going on, Daventry will just set the letters and package on the workbench.
Filthy, why are the up? Oh, everyone's up. Okay. Jamel just stumbles out of the bedroom that her and Failsy's share.
Morning, Sleepy.
Cold. Come here.
As he bounds over.
Way too heavy wife lean on you.
And this kills the Failsy.
But she
Failsy with
dies
her-
happy.
With her 10 in strength. Yeah, she's not keeping that up.
She's doing it to where it's just like just enough to make you strain, but not enough to actually let you get knocked over.
Just picturing one forgetful moment and there's a Failsy-shaped hole in the bottom of the cart.
Probably. So we didn't play a couple of the games yesterday. Are you all wanting to do those again?
These festivals will sometimes change what games they run on a day-to-day basis. So there might be some new ones out. And also, we didn't explore the entire festival.
Fair. I'm going to get dressed then. Is it just me, or does today feel weird?
How do you mean?
I don't know. She's weird.
I mean,
I feel like everyone's already in a mood, and it just started.
It's being tired after such an eventful day yesterday. Once we're all back out, I'm sure things will pick up.
Good morning, Morrigan.
Morning.
What do you want in your pancake?
Currants, if you have them.
I do.
Thank you.
Red or black?
A little bit of both.
Okay. They're dried, I hope you don't mind.
That's the way I like them, actually. Perfect.
Alright. Yeah, Lee's making like those big, like fluffy, like one person pancakes, but it's like one pancake that constitutes a meal.
Ah, diner pancakes.
More like
Good
the
diner pancakes.
like fluffy like the Japanese style pancakes where they're like and they
Fucking
jiggle a little bit.
platter-sized Japanese pancake.
Yeah.
And the man must show his arm strength to whip those egg whites.
I mean,
He's
I'm
doing
not-
it without even opening his eyes.
I mean, I'm not saying Lee is one of the stronger members of our little group, but he is. Our NPCs are stronger than any of us.
Egg
You
whites
guys
go
have
burr.
You guys have specifically adopted strong NPCs.
That's not true. We didn't adopt Jamel. She was already with Failsy.
To be
She's
fair,
just
she
with us
technically adopted Failsy by
Exactly.
marrying her.
Exactly. Not all the NPCs we have are strong. Bliss isn't,
She's
but she's
not
also
weak.
not with us.
You also don't have her. The bees are the only weak ones.
Bees! Yeah, that's true.
He's surprised that they have better strength scores than us, though.
One of them has a 7 and the other one has a 9.
So, no.
Buzzkin are not strong.
Nope. They are bees.
I don't know if y'all can hear the thumping in the background, but the cats are thoroughly enjoying the box.
Nope.
That's good. Can't hear it, but I enjoy the fact that they are. Alright then. It takes a little bit, but as the early morning goes on, everyone starts to properly come to for the day, getting themselves organized and dressed. Lee presents you all with your breakfast. You eat in peace while just trying to get over mild hangovers from the previous night. A nice bready breakfast does certainly help with that. Plenty of water.
Hey Lee, do you have any spare fish or chicken?
Do you have a preference for one over the other, and what kind of fish?
Depends on Bubbles. Or Fairy, I guess Keta asked.
Oh, the cat. Okay. He walks over to his pantry area that he has. Let's see. It's a little oily, but I got a mackerel you could eat. She could eat. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's she.
Okay. I got a mackerel she could eat.
No, Da Vinci just looks to the others.
Bubbles.
For context, Tim gave me one of his cats.
It just pokes up from Javince's shoulder.
And
It's
it's
like a little munchkin cat.
Yes, it is a munchkin cat with white fur, a black nose, and little brown booties.
And it's like just above being a kitten as well.
And why give you a cat?
Well, the reason for it is Bubbles has a special trick that apparently all of Tim's cats know, and that is that they can essentially function as a messenger for Tim. If we want to send ask Tim anything or send any information his way, we just tell it to Bubbles and I don't think my mic caught that. And it Bubbles will inform him. Or Fairy. Keta asked when she learned about Bubbles asked for her to be named Fairy Floss. Don't know why, but it made her happy to call the cat Fairy.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
Just hops off your shoulder, Da Vinci. It's weird because you
Yeah,
barely noticed it was there.
Now go and get yourself that mackerel.
Just does like the over exaggerated steps towards it.
Dip, 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 dip.
Yeah, full on like a cat doing the rhythm march. Alright then. So I guess after we all get dressed back onto the town.
Suppose so.
Okay, I could do that. I'm gonna go make sure Keta's up. Just being quiet today. He just gives everyone like a look of just like a unfortunately look.
Well, she has been through a lot. I think she's allowed days of being quiet.
Yeah. It just makes me a little worried. But I'll be here for her. She likes it when I wear the robe open in the chest as well, so I think I'll make sure to do that.
Yep.
Just a little, apparently just a little open though. Just like, and he just like pulls it open to reveal what would essentially be his cleavage. Like this. Don't know why. Alright. I think I might head out with her a little bit early if you guys want to catch up.
Yeah, you all go on ahead.
Okay. I'll see you when you guys get out. And he
Alright,
just
that's
heads
fine.
to go get Keta. He's gonna enjoy some festivities by themselves for a little bit. What about the rest of you?
Da Vinci just slowly eats his pancake in silence.
I'm already bored. Let's go see what the festivities are.
Alright then. I guess we'll go scope out what they have on the display today, and when you all catch up, just yeah, you'll be able to see me.
Fair enough. We'll see you there.
Alright. Alright, Fizzy, come on.
Whee!
Yeah, so those two head out. Not terribly long after Keta and Lee head out.
You two go on ahead to festivities. I'm gonna take a bit of time to work on an errand.
I mean, I was gonna go check with the smith and the woodworker, see if I can get my weapon finished up, but they might be closed for the festivities. Won't know unless I go stop by and check them.
Might be worth checking if the crystal smith is open, just in case too.
I mean, I guess.
I'm gonna go get dressed.
Oh,
Like
right.
she's got
Not
like sleeping
everyone sleeps in
clothes.
their armor.
Even Brimstone does not sleep in his armor because that's a mechanic in 5e that you're not allowed to do.
Brimstone has done so in the past, however.
Definitely. Just very bad sleep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She's always in her armor.
Your armor is
Yeah.
your flesh.
Yeah, that's because your armor is skin and scale.
Alright then. So you're gonna head out Brimstone to go see if the shops are open?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. You head out to do that. This just relieves Morrigan and Da Vinci in the cart. Morrigan getting dressed and Da Vinci preparing to do some little task before heading out.
Yeah, Da Vinci just pulls up some papers to the workbench and basically starts working on some rough sketches and idea crafting for Keta's requested armband.
Alrighty. So that's probably going to take you a little while. So Morrigan, you'd probably be getting finished dressed by the time he's actually, like, part the way through what he's working on.
Alrighty. Yeah, which for her getting dressed, she put on some of her nicer clothes that she's gotten elsewhere in the adventure, and she actually has put her armor on for today because she feels, at least color-wise, it goes nicely with the outfit she picked.
Alrighty. So you're looking pretty nice right now.
Yee. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Do you want me to grab you anything?
No, don't worry about it. I'll just get this drafting done and catch up with you on the festival.
Alright. Kind of nervously, but also boldly for her, as of late, she will lean down and kiss Da Vinci on the top of the head.
Oh, come on. You?
You hear the two bees just go, oh!
Hey. No peeping. And no rumors.
No rumor, back to clean.
You go and enjoy yourself. Like I said, I'll catch up with you.
Alright. I'll try not to have too much fun without you then.
Oh, enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. Maybe get on another elephant.
Don't tempt me, I might. And she'll just head out into the festival areas.
Alrighty. That leaves Da Vinci by yourself now in the cart.
Yep. Da Vinci is going to pull out his watch and flick it open.
You see, currently it's...
No, continue.
Alright. I also got distracted because my phone suddenly made a noise at me. You flick it open. Stop, phone. If you keep making noises, I'm going to throw you. You flick it open, and currently the dial is still close to the 11, but is creeping towards 12 at this point. It's probably about a third of the way there at this point.
He gets up and sets it down on one of the other tables. He looks at it, and he goes back to his drafting. About 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes pass as he's just continuing to work, drawing up idea after idea, scratching some out, keeping others, trying to work on rough estimates, pulling out his materials to get specific dimensions, the gauge of the wire, thickness of the plating, the plates that he got. And then he just pauses. Damn it! He stands up and marches over to the watch. Slams his head or his hands on either side of it. And he just starts shouting. Why me? Why is this happening? What is even supposed to happen? Damn it! What am I even supposed to do, you stupid thing? When it strikes 12, I lose something I'm not prepared to. What does that even mean? How can I prevent this clock from striking 12? It's not like I can stop the clock. No. I told not to do that unless in dire situations. Although, does this count? Why? He buckles onto his knees against the table. I never asked for this to happen. I never asked to end up on this whirlwind of a journey that's taken everything I used to know and take for granted and throw it on its head. I don't even know what's real anymore sometimes. And everything. Never asked for everything to change. I just enjoyed having a job, being able to enjoy life. Now everything has fallen apart. And where does it stem? I never asked to be born different, to look different. I never asked for one small feature of my life to apparently become the entirety of it. And now look at me. Just throws his head back and starts laughing. I'm shouting at a stupid watch. It's lated to death by a jealous sister for once doing a job. Stuck with the potential to ruin lives. All because I once asked someone, how could I help? Never wanted all this. Never wanted these responsibilities. And now I'm looking to lose something again. Just rests his head on the table. That seems to be common with fate. Take away what I enjoy, what I love, with nothing I can do for it.
You'd feel a hand on his shoulder.
He slowly looks up.
You just see Elway, having moved from her normal position, seated in her chair, nearly motionless in most occasions. Just moved is now kneeling beside you.
Elway, you're up. I'm sorry. I admit I forgot you were there.
That's why I be quiet, so you'll forget. One is not guarded around a ghost.
Elway,
Yes?
why did you show us those visions all the way back at the Isle?
You see a bit of an almost glaze look in her eyes for a moment. She blinks. The expression is one of someone who is thinking and their mind is far off. Because when I saw you all enter my home, pulled by threads of fate, I saw so many twisting and turning paths before you. And she moves slightly to actually be kneeling in front of you rather than to your side. I saw so many twisting paths that I knew your lives would end in turmoil. And I tried to give you something that might help guide you to a more solid structure. But I worry it's done the opposite now that I've seen the path you followed.
I'm afraid I'm a bit lost there, Lady Elway. I saw in my vision talking to Magisteria and being in elsewhere, seeing how she's shattered. I played things as carefully as I could not to risk anchoring such powerful entity, and yet all I'm left with are questions. It seems like the others got some sense of purpose, some direction. My vision... I'm left with more questions than any potential answer or direction.
That is the problem with visions. They are rarely easy to understand. But I can make a bit of sense of what you've seen, and what I know you do now. You saw something shattered, and your mind is one of a craftsman, for however much you deny you're right. You wanted to fix it. And that twisting line of fate brought you to something that was shattered. And at this point you are so close to fixing. She looks over at the watch. To elsewhere, though. I did not know the contents of your visions. Not fully. The tie to elsewhere. Something about that must be tied to your fate as well. Something shattered and something wild. You found the shattered thing.
Well, you're saying I'm destined to bring back together the the god that caused an entire war?
No. And she actually reaches over, and if you don't stop her, she picks up the pocket watch.
He doesn't stop her.
She just very gently lifts it off the table and holds it in front of her. You found something shattered, and you're trying to fix it. A god shattered that you're trying to fix. Not the one you saw, but the same situation. Is that not correct?
I don't know. Not even sure why I was given that watch in the first place.
I'm sure you know why you were given it. One does not give something like this without good reason. And she just closes the clock face of it. And just reaches forward for your hand.
He will set his hand out.
She just gently places the watch back in your hand. Whoever had this before must have known it was valuable, and yet gave it to you. May they have perhaps been guided by fate as well. It is not a set path, Travinci. Fate is a mess of webs that interconnect at seemingly random and unrelated points that make up the tapestries of our lives. A seer like myself can show you that web, and you'll see things that will be tied to it. But it is actually rare for it to be a guarantee to work the way that you were presented. And she'll just curl your fingers over the watch.
And yet here I am, worried that the circumstances of this watch, me getting this watch, will repeat in another way.
Well, if it has happened once before, then you'll be ready for it. Able to make the choice in time this time. Is that not what a watch is for? To keep time?
At this point, I'm not even sure. This one certainly isn't keeping the time right now. Instead, it's just a premonition. If I don't do something that I don't even know what to do, I'll fail. And just like how I got it, I failed. It was given to me.
She gives your hand a very gentle squeeze. I don't think you'll fail twice.
And if I do... it'll just add in more that it feels like I'm destined to lose what I care about. But you don't need to be hearing my grievances about fate.
Travince. Her expression is soft, almost motherly. I'm a seer. I hear all grievances of fate, and I try to help you pick it apart. I don't know how much longer I'll be around. But what knowledge I can offer you, and what advice I can give, ask it. You don't need to be afraid of talking to me, even if fate is scary.
I just don't even know what fate will take from me if I don't do whatever this watch wants me to do.
What were you told?
The clock strikes 12, you lose something you aren't ready to lose. I don't know what it could mean that I'm not ready to lose. Never. At this point, I'm not even sure what fate could take that it hasn't already.
Perhaps then, do not take it as a premonition, but rather a warning of fate trying to save you from a terrible loss. Watch the time, and unlike when it happened the last time. And she'll actually reach up and just very gently poke you on the forehead. Be ready to run.
Run right now?
You're light on your feet? I think you'll make it this time. Just believe in yourself. You don't need to believe in fate. Just in yourself.
That's
I
one
know
of the
that's
things.
harder.
That's one of the things fate took from me to begin with. But
She stands up and offers you a hand.
he'll accept it.
Fate didn't take that from you, Travince. Misfortune took that from you. Fate is neither misfortune nor fortune. It is merely a path that you follow. And that can be altered if you act accordingly. Don't expect the worst, or else it'll happen.
Da Vinci will take a look at the mess of documents, doodles, and measurements
As you look, the little white and blue bee is currently like stops as it's picking them up and like turns towards you.
Just set them on a pile on the side. I'll organize them.
Okay. Just continues picking them up.
Is it bad to also be afraid of what fate has in store, even if you succeed?
It's natural. To know that something lies ahead that is uncertain, success or failure, has a natural fear of those who are mortal. Even I fear it.
You do?
But yes. I became a seer to divine fate's weave. And even now I cannot see what lies ahead for myself, because my fate was altered. In that place where we saved that little girl, I walked forward knowing that my fate was to die there. And yet the being that ordains fate decided to change it in that moment.
And he's coming back.
It's likely.
He pauses and thinks for a second. Then I'll take your advice. I'll run.
She just very slowly reaches up and cups your cheek. Good boy. Playfully pinches it.
I'm not that little.
But you're much younger than me.
Not much I can change there. Richard will... Sorry.
She was just going to continue. Clean yourself up. Your friends are waiting for you.
Frenchie will give Elway a hug.
She just returns it.
And then he'll take a handkerchief, wipe down the tears from his face. Take another look at the watch. Look at Elway. Pocket the watch. And at a breakneck speed, doing a casting a long strider on himself, just starts running out the cart, out the door, and into the festivities.
Alrighty then. We kick back up as everyone else has sort of convened a bit, going over some of the different things you've noticed that are current festivities around the area of your cart. Couple of things you saw. The hammer game where you try to push a boulder is still active, but there's been a couple of new pop-ups. There's apparently a giant boar rodeo going on. a magic tricks contest where you have to try to perform different fancy spell effects to wow the crowd and see how much basically see how much of a reaction you can get out of everyone around you. And there's apparently a barrel run, which you saw a bit of it. It's basically people trying to balance on top of a barrel while running through an obstacle course. Are the games that you immediately saw around the area of your cart while just trying to scope things out.
Oh, these look fun.
The thing you're asking for, I don't know what it is.
Just a general statement as she looks at the games on offer.
E.
She seems quite keen on the magic trick contest.
Alrighty then. I need to Google what this substance is, because I have not watched that show.
Papapki? Is that the... No, that's not the biscuit. Quick question, given the amount of time that had passed. Is Da Vinci with the group, just so I know if I should chime in or not?
In my head, they've been like scoping out the area around and checking what the different festivity and food fare is around the cart today, since it does seem to have changed. Ow, my fingers. I'm trying to figure out what that is, and I can't find any references to it.
I'll just Google it for you, okay?
Okay, sorry. I tried just Googling it, and all it popped up in relation to a food thing was biscuits and then pork and cabbage fried rice.
I might have misspelled it.
Are you referring to the that game where you basically get a thin wafer or a candy and you have to break out the design of it?
Yeah, and like the candy that it's made from is called Dalgona.
Oh, I know what that is now.
Yeah.
It's like a starched caramel candy.
Yeah, I probably spelt the name of the game that is like the IRL game that is played with that, where if you lose, you just have a broken piece of candy. If you
What do
win,
you get if you win?
you get
What?
an extra one.
Oh, okay.
Simple as.
Fair enough. That probably wouldn't be like a big festivity game, but that would be like something you could do at like a vendor stand, yeah.
Yeah, that's why specifically in the chat said vendor.
Yeah. I got distracted by trying to figure out what it was.
I most likely spelled it wrong. Like, there's a video from Emmy made about it, but I can't play that to give you the proper name because, well,
Yeah,
Strem.
Strem.
Best I can do is copy the link and DM it to you.
Okay. Oh, I'll find it out later, but I understand the gist of what that would be just based on the basic description.
Yeah, I'll drop it in Moving Memes and you can look at it later.
Okay. But yeah. Those are a couple of the games that you find in the vicinity of the cart, just within like 20 minutes walk of the cart. As for the actual food fare, it's changed a bit from what it was previously. When you all were walking around the city streets the previous day and night, it was much more what you would think of when you think of like a traditional, like European or American fare, where like a lot of like fried sweet foods, candies, candied apples, caramel apples, and different like pastries that have been fried. Now you're seeing like a lot of more Japanese type. I mean, I have to use the real equivalents because I'm not very good at describing food. But a lot more of like the real world Japanese equivalents thereof. You see like fried skewers of squid that have been basted in a brown sauce. These little taiyakis. But these little things that look like balls of fried dough that have this multicolored seasoning sprinkled on the top of them. things that straight up look like fish that have been had their faces sliced open and have scoops of ice cream stuffed into them. Just to name a few.
Okay. That sounds horrifying.
It's like the mouth is cut open as if it were a mouth, and there's just a scoop of ice cream in the front of it, but it's like a pastry of a fish. Which gotta get the I'm not good at the ambience, guys. I'm sorry.
No worries.
A little bit more jivey. But yeah. It's the same as it was yesterday with the games, at least, though. Grabbing tickets and seeing if you'd actually like to participate.
First, I'd like to give the magic contest a go.
Alrighty then.
That's certainly in a wheelhouse.
So,
But, you know,
So when you walk up towards that booth, you see a individual, looks to be a elven man, wearing the stereotypical, like, light lavender purple with white stars on it wizard hat that's way too tall. Like, the brim is hanging over his face. He's got, like, the robes to match, and the hat itself gives him, like, another 1.5 feet of height. When he speaks, it's just the, "Ah, yes, I see that you are a magically inclined individual. Would you be interested in joining in us for our magical performance contest?"
sounds like fun. What do?
Oh, very well. It is a contest where you try to showcase your creative talents with the most basics of magics. How creatively you can use them to wow and dazzle the crowd. So speaking mechanically, you are only allowed to use cantrips in this contest. And you're able to make arcana and performance checks to flavor up how your spell appears in this moment.
Those have got a few cantrips, but
You could always attempt to sneak in a higher level spell, but you'll have to try to deceive and downplay its actual purpose. Or its actual power level, I should say. And eventually, this would probably be about the time that you're catching up whenever this wizard-looking mofo just starts explaining.
Oh, there you are.
See, told you I'd catch up.
We like a fish.
Fish? Sure.
He hands you one of the pastry fish with the ice cream in its mouth.
Oh, I love these. It's been so long since I had one.
You're crispy. Fish is doing something with magic, by the way.
I was able to catch that bit. Unfortunately, that's not exactly my wheelhouse.
Kind of contemplating if I should join in.
The more the merrier.
If you want to, go on ahead and have fun. I did catch a quick glimpse of that thing with the barrels. That seems more my speed.
Well, we could go do that after we do this.
Maybe. First, let's see how if you two can actually keep up. with the competition.
We have 2 other applicants now. If you all would like to sign up, we could go ahead and do a performance. We've had a couple of interesting showings so far. Thus far, no one's been lit on fire.
Yet.
There's
No.
always a yet.
You know what? Sure, I'll join in.
Very well. If both of you would like to step into the curtain here, you can go get prepared for yourself. And the stage will be ready for you in just a moment. He just essentially pulls the velvet rope that's in front of this curtain to allow you all to pass through.
Alrighty.
Felzy and Morrigan step through.
Morrigan does, at least.
I was going to go in, yes.
Alrighty. You all step through. You see 2 other individuals already back here. You see one very elegant looking woman in a full kimono wearing a kind of strange looking mask. Just seems to... It's not dissimilar to like the Oni mask that Keto was looking at before, but it's more human looking. But it's just like the exaggerated facial proportions.
Mm-hmm.
And the other individual back here is actually the dwarf from the elephant riding competition.
Right.
What else go on?
Morrigan sees her, is just like, oh, hello again.
The dwarf looks at you just like, oh, Miss Speedster. No grudges. You won that one fair and square.
Fair enough. That's all I wanted to do with
I'll
that.
win this one though.
We'll see.
But what else you see in this back room is a bunch of outfits that look like they could be quickly donned or doffed, but that are just like various like carnival-esque costumes with different masks posted up on the wall. And you just see a selection of wands that are completely unlabeled, just hung up on a rack on one wall of this tent.
I was going to examine them. Can I discern if they're magical or just props?
Make an Arcana check. Failsy couldn't possibly be magical. Those are just some sticks that they have for the sake of show purposes. It's weird that they have them laid out so nicely, and there's so many of them, though.
Can Morrigan make an Arcana check?
Yes.
This is not boding well for Felzy, the magical one.
Morrigan, you definitely do notice that they seem to be vibrating a bit. There's like a hum to them. You don't necessarily know what that means, but they seem like they probably are magical. You see the dwarf is currently like looking at a couple of them and just smiling evilly. She's got like, you know, like how people do like Wolverine claws with Pocky? She's holding wands in each of her hands like that. Just 3 wands in each hand. It's like, yeah.
Have they got anything bigger, like a staff?
Danny, did your mic cut out? Because I can't hear you. if
No,
you're talking about
I
it.
haven't
Okay.
been talking.
I just wanted to make sure because you didn't respond to me mentioning the dwarf.
I did. I guess it didn't pick up. It just
Okay. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure that your microphone didn't cut out.
yeah.
Failsy, when you mentioned do they have anything bigger, the other individual in the room does just sort of point towards the back of the tent where you do see a couple of staves that look similar lined up.
I was gonna wander over to one of them. Those twigs obviously aren't magic. Are these magic?
Alright. I'll allow another Arcana check.
Ah, these are
Alright.
23.
Those twigs, definitely just twigs. These staves, however, are buzzing with wild magic.
Ooh.
It literally does not look like it looks like whoever enchanted these did not bother to set any restrictions. They literally just shoved magic into wood.
So
It's less structured than even the staff you have.
That is assuming she's not allowed to use her Staff of Radiance in this, so she'll pick up one of these obviously violently magically infused staffs of wild magic.
Alright, you grab one of those. Morgan, are you interested in any of the little flare bits they've got scattered around the room?
Unless there's like a prop sword back here that would work for the idea Morgan has, no.
Yeah, you could find a prop sword back here. You find like a sword that is clearly never been sharpened, like even the edges of it are forged to be blunt. But from the flat facing, it looks like a sword.
Balance is a little bit wonky, but this'll work.
You're taking a sword out to do some magic tricks. To each their own. I'm just gonna let it go wild and see what happens.
Ah, you're a roll the dice type, got it.
That's what you're doing, it's just trying to have fun. Roll the dice and see what happens.
Fair enough.
You hear some muffled sounds coming through the front of the stage, and the dwarf turns just like, oh, it's my time. I'm gonna go shine. And she just starts walking out the side of the tent that is facing the stage that was set up.
Question, is there an audience area for the rest of us to go to?
Yes, there is an audience area for the rest of you to go to if you'd like to be part of the screaming crowd.
Sure.
Alrighty then. So you go join the screaming crowd. As I'm going to call it because that's funny to me.
Ah! All screaming, never stop screaming.
Never stop screaming, all the screaming, scream all the time. Alrighty then. Yeah, so or whoever is left in the party who would actually be interested in joining the crowd rather than being a performer. Sorry, I have to adjust my headphones because they're hurting my ear. You watch as a dwarf comes out onto the stage with 6 wands in hand.
Oh no.
And I'm gonna do...
Bells is gonna watch.
You could like poke your head out the door and see the back side of the performance at least. So... I'm just gonna do this and then describe what happens, and while you all think about what you want to do.
Just Travinci looked to Brimstone. Isn't that the dwarf that I knocked off an elephant?
Sure. I don't
Yes.
know. I was paying attention.
She certainly looks kitted out.
All right, time to look at what this does.
Oh
should've-
no, I think I know what this is.
Maybe. 2, 6, 5, 6. Alright, that happens. Just gonna collect these real quick. So as the dwarf pulls out these wands, you just watch as they start to sparkle and glow with an intense magical aura. Okay. That's a weird one. I shouldn't have done 6. That was too many.
He fireballs himself.
It's a girl.
Herself. She changes into a man and then fireballs herself.
Oh, much weirder and worse can happen here.
Oh yeah.
The sun explodes.
I'm trying to see right now if any of these would visually happen, and so far none of them would. So it could be real funny.
Hmm. For
For reference, for all those who might be watching, it's the D10,000 table.
yep.
I'm just looking respectfully.
I am the cause of this madness.
Yes, you are. Alright, one more. And Failsy, if you're going to use the staff, it's going to do this alongside any spell you cast. So if you want to go ahead and roll something, you can.
Is the prop sword gonna do that?
No, it's just the staves and wands that were buzzing with untamed wild magic that do this.
Okay.
No, you just have a sword that works similar to a sword, but without any of the cutting properties. Really, a truly awful sword.
It works for what she has in mind.
All right then. So those in front of the stage, or just watching this performance in general, you watch as this dwarf woman walks out onto the stage, just brings out, as if doing sort of jazz hands, with 6 of these wands held between her fingers, as they all begin to glow and vibrate with an intense aura. You just watch as suddenly she just disappears. And then you just hear thunking. And just like the sound of someone collapsing on the stage. But you can't see anything.
Huh.
And Dravinche,
Huh?
your ice cream fish suddenly tastes bitter.
Ugh. What happened?
The wizardly
They-
fellow walks. The wizardly fellow walks out onto the stage and like looks around. Uses his foot to like nudge something that you can't see on the stage. All right, She seems to have punched herself into unconsciousness.
No, not really much of a show, and I think it made my ice cream sour.
All right. Can next performer please exit? And the purple one from earlier. As he just starts rolling the dwarf off the stage, though you can't see what he's rolling.
Rolling an invisible barrel.
Pretty much.
Is that calling Failsy or the elf?
You're the purple one.
Ah. Like, I know purple, I just didn't know if the...
Also,
Oh.
the other thing in the room seems to be a human, but they're wearing a mask.
Ah. I thought you said that elven.
Purple one. But yeah.
Failsy's gonna step out after like 3 minutes of actually thinking of a performance because she thought it was just a contest with maybe some guidance. Oh shit! I should have pressed something.
Nope, going in blind. Listen, it probably can't be nearly as bad as you punching yourself into unconsciousness while invisible.
Yeah, we can't even see her punch herself. That's the worst part.
She came out all like Wolverine and everything, and then pop, bap, 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 dunk.
I'm just gonna post the list into the roll chat for us, what all happened with her rolls.
So Failsy is going to try and put on a performance she saw vaguely as a child.
Alright.
Where she starts holding out a staff and she'll use shit, I forgot the spell's name. Mage Hand will try and grab the staff from her after a bit of struggling. She'll
Alrighty then.
try in a spell of, I don't care if she burns through all her sorcery points doing this. Try and slide in Spider Hand to pull her arm off, to pull her hand off, as the magic mage hand drags away the staff, and her hand turns into a spider to crawl up it.
Alright, you're gonna subtle spell Spider Hand.
Yes.
Alright, mark off your sorcery points and your spell slot. But yes, the crowd sees as this little purple tiefling walks onto the stage. Comparatively immediately less bombastic than the dwarf was. Oh, but Failsy, since you did cast a spell, I do need you to roll on the table because you have the staff right now.
You get, just try and make sure I get the sorcery.
Yeah.
Everything's checked off, so roll.
1d 10,000. Just you can roll it in the game or in the roll 20 if you can just type in the command, or you can do it in the roll central.
Yeah, /r D10,000 would work.
R//
/r.
/R.
/r space D10,000.
Okay. I go to die now.
Oh, a low number.
7.
That's D1000.
You need one more 0.
Oh,
Just hit up and then add a 0.
D 10,000. 5,685.
Interestingly enough, I was already in those numbers. 5,685. Alrighty then. Technically, you are the target of this spell. So actually, this kind of helps sell your performance a little bit more. 5,685. Target feels the ground shake as as if during a powerful earthquake. So this actually ends up really selling your performance, because as you're like trying to, like struggling against this semi-visible, semi-invisible arcane hand that appears next to you, who tries to steal your staff from you, you actually start to feel like, oh god, what's happening? Why is everything shaking? And as your hand just suddenly dislodges and turns into a spider, you actually collapse onto the ground because there's an earthquake going on, as far as you're aware. Go ahead and make a performance check, and due to the D10,000 table actually agreeing with your performance, I'll give you advantage.
Performance. That's a 22.
A nice 22, solid. You get a couple of people in the crowd, quite a few people in the crowd actually start like, not like cheering, but quite a few people start like laughing as if this were like a slapstick performance.
Kind of what she's going for.
Fair enough. Going for like a Three Stooges approach.
Yeah. Three Stooges, party one.
The most depressing Three Stooges. Three Stooges, party of one, also known as One Studge. But yeah. Do you have anything else you'd want to add? Dravinchik golf claps. Just like, oh, good showing. Alright, but you managed to arouse a bit of a reaction from the crowd, definitely more than the dwarf got. She mostly got crickets and confusion. And maybe one person that just went, woo! Because always someone just goes woo.
She's actually going to have the mage hand brandish the staff at herself, as if whatever's stolen it is now threatening her with it.
Alright.
Slowly backing away towards the back wall.
Yeah, while the ground is still like shaking, so you're actually like having to keep your balance.
She doesn't want to throw fire at the crowd. She'll use prestidigitation to peg little balls of light.
Alright. Not quite what that spell does, but I'll allow it.
I'm assuming since I can make an object in the hand,
It'd be like making a rock in your hand.
a little glowy rock that just disappears before it hits someone in the face.
Someone in the crowd you hear just go like, I caught one! Oh, it's gone. Alright. But you start throwing things at it, and the staff, as it brandishes towards you, just keeps inching closer. Menacingly. It's controlled by you, but it still looks menacing as you're heading towards the back of the stage. Your small spider is still on the staff.
I kind of wish I'd messed up the order of things. I was thinking of giving it flame breath, but I didn't think of that until now.
Unfortunate. Alright, so you're currently being like shoved off the stage by your own staff, your own arcane hand wielding staff.
Can I try and make the staff trigger from my mage hand?
You know what? Sure. If you want to take that gamble, I'll let that gamble happen.
She's gonna try and time it that she'll trigger a ghost step into the back wall, and depending on what pops out of the staff as she tries shooting herself with it.
Alrighty then. Go ahead and roll that number again. Let's see what you get. Should be able to hit up and then enter. Or up twice and then enter.
No, just up once.
2,712.
Gotta go up for that one. 2,712.
Aww.
It doesn't seem to do anything other than glow very brightly as it brandishes towards you. Actually, no, it does do something. It glows very brightly and brandishes towards you as just like a beam of light shoots forwards at you.
Bowser's gonna step back into the wall
Alright.
as if she vaporized herself.
Alrighty then. Go ahead and make another performance check.
Ah, 7.
Double 7.
Can I?
No,
No, I can't push fate.
not this time.
Oh.
Alrighty then. There's definitely some people who are just like, did she just die? It seems like your performance might have landed a little bit more on a sour note of people being like, I think she might have just killed herself. Alright! Overall, though, a decent performance. As currently, if any food was on your person, it suddenly becomes much more nutritious. But yeah, at this point, you've gone back into the tent where everyone else was.
We shall hop back out, not where she got vaporized, but off to the side and have the staff come back to her hand, and her hand become a hand again.
Fair enough. When you come back out, they're just like, she didn't die! And there's a couple more claps.
She'll take a
Few
bow,
whistles.
but that didn't go. That went better than expected.
I like how it's a question mark.
I expected to explode.
You might have. You don't know yet. The shaking finally does stop as you head back into the tent, having finished your... wasn't a short performance, but it was just a little bit of slapstick.
I didn't disappear and punch myself in the face, so I call it a win.
Fair enough. Alright, not a bad performance, the second one. A little bit more eventful, quite funny if I do say so myself. Not the typical performance we get. Most people just try to wow with visual appeal. Most people don't try a performance. Extra points for that one. Alright, so as the crowd is settling down a little bit. You had me, settle down! And some of the people who are still just chattering in the crowd settle down, getting prepared for the next performance.
Boo.
Oh, you heard me, settle down. Alright then. Other Miss Tiefling, if you could make your way to the stage, I do believe it should be your performance time.
Alright then. Morgan will make her way onto the stage.
Alright. You make your way onto the stage, and the crowd is not terribly large in front of you, probably about 30, 40 people. Seems like there's probably not a huge amount of magical showing, so not a lot of people show up for this normally.
Renche gives a thumbs up from the crowd.
Well, she will look out at the crowd, her prop sword in hand, and to start off with, she'll do the kind of bow where you put one foot forward, the other foot back, and you bend at the waist. Although instead of having her non-dominant hand at her front, but instead of having her dominant hand behind her, she's got the prop sword out to the side, held pretty straight, and then as she comes back up, just with a quick twist of her wrist, she casts Green Flame Blade to alight the sword in green flames.
Alrighty then. Immediately, there's definitely an ooh of the crowd as the prop sword in your hand is suddenly burst into a brilliant green flame.
And then, hoping that she gets it right, especially with having been taught some, she kind of starts copying some of the moves she's seen Dravince do on the battlefield.
Ooh.
Just for the visual flair.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Basically, she's fire dancing with the sword.
Fair.
Just very cocked eyebrow, but nods.
Alright, go ahead and make a performance check with advantage for that. That's a good
Alright.
use of a spell to match up with your activity.
Okay. 17.
Alrighty then. Time for fan reaction. Yeah, there's definitely some oohs and some ahs as the blade first alights itself, and then per how the cantrip works, given your level, the secondary blade that trails behind it as you slash around, performing these not as intricate as you've seen Dravince do, but he's probably more flexible than you are, given his profession.
Yee. That's why I said she's going more for visual flair than anything.
Fair enough. But it definitely ends up making almost the appearance of a sort of ribbon dance, but the ribbon is fire. You're definitely getting some pretty positive crowd feedback. There's the oohs and the ahs, and a couple people towards the back are actually starting to cheer a bit. Alright, how would you like to continue this?
That's as far as I got with the planning.
I had the same problem.
Fair.
It's like,
Can Dravince chime in from the crowd?
Yeah, you could shout something up at her while you see her starting to falter on just like, should I? Not like falter in the performance, but like, you can clearly see on her face, a face that you definitely made times in your practicing, just like, how do I continue this?
Move! Go faster! Put some momentum into it!
Alright, and she'll do just that. Like, I guess like one of the best ways I can think to describe it is like almost doing ballet pirouettes.
Alrighty then. Dravince, I'd like for you to make me a charisma check.
Ah! 5.
You hear him, but his voice is getting drowned out a bit in the sound of the crowd. You do still hear him though. If it had been over a 10, I would have given you a more advantage for this next check as well.
Fair enough.
But let's just go a straight roll for this next one, since you're a little uncertain with this action.
Fair.
But still maintaining. You're like, okay, go faster. Pirouette like a ballet dancer. You've seen that before. You start doing that, and to the crowd, it looks like this beautiful. You almost look like an upside down spinning top of fire. But you are definitely making yourself dizzy doing this. The crowd is loving it, though. It's getting to the point where it's actually starting to get a little hard to hear anything else right now, as the crowd is cheering.
Okay, just to end it, because she just is starting to get a bit uncomfortable being the center of attention like this. She's just going to bring herself out of the spin and end with like a flourish of a slash to just kind of end the performance. And as the final slash would go through after, you know, the blow is followed through with it, the flame would just be extinguished with another twist of her wrist.
Alrighty then. Yes, you finish off with a nice flourish, ending the flame in a very fantastic manner to the crowd, and they are definitely loving it. Yeah, you felt better. Eating sweets before doing dancing, eating like that big pancake breakfast, maybe wasn't the best idea. You're feeling a little ugh right now, but you feel confident about your performance despite the fact.
And then just now it's ended, she'll just bring herself back up into a proper bowing stance, this time actually having her hand behind her back as she does so.
Alrighty then. You do so, and you get quite a few claps from the crowd. And the wizard steps onto the stage alongside you again. He's like, very good showing so far. Definitely the best of this run. He certainly likes it. Just points at Dravinci.
Just nods.
She's just got the biggest smile on her face right now, and she just kind of is like, so do I just go backstage now, or...
Yes, you can.
Okay. And she'll go backstage.
Yeah, you head backstage.
Da Vinci leans to Brimstone. Remind me to teach her how to finish a dance next time.
Oh, that was certainly better than my improv.
What?
I like how Brimstone is just standing there, just like, I'm here.
Pretty much.
I'm completely just interested in what's going on because it's all magic bullshit, but I'm here.
Yeah. She turned invisible and punched herself in the face, and that's why I don't like magic.
Morgan
She
just,
didn't mean to do it. Exactly.
yeah, but to what fails, he said, Morgan just looks at her and goes, I was completely making it up as I went along.
That's how it goes sometimes. You hear a voice from somewhere in the room. Sounds like the dwarven woman, but you can't see her.
Is that gonna wear off?
I hope.
Maybe they can have somebody just spell it off of ya.
Interestingly enough, you look around, that other figure that was in the room with you, no longer there. And Felzy, you did not see them slip out.
Are they out on the stage already?
You look out onto the stage, and the wizard looks actually kind of confused, because he's like looking around trying to find. He like called for the next performer to come out, and they didn't. He like, you watch as he suddenly like turns and starts walking back towards the tent. Just pokes his face in without the hat coming in as well, just like, huh. Did she run away? Got cold feet, I guess.
I guess Morgan scared her away.
Your performance was very good, miss. The competition didn't think they could compete.
It wasn't my intention to scare anyone away.
It rarely is, especially in performance. Alright then. Well, I'm going to do a few things to wow the crowd, but that would probably mean that you miss, and he just looks at you, Morgan. That would mean that you've definitely won the competition. Give me a few minutes to keep the crowd wowed and interested, and then I'll have you come out for your prize, okay?
Alright then, points to the direction of the dwarf's voice. Is there any way we can help, Mom, I never got your name.
Aye, the name's Dolores.
Any way that we can get Dolores some help to not be invisible?
I would weather off in a day.
Ah.
I'm going to... You just hear her chuckling to herself. You can only assume what she's thought of.
Fair enough.
All right. And we're going to go ahead and go to break here while this wizardly man steps out and starts doing some little performances. I'm going to keep to the timetable. We're not actually going to be able to play into the game. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. We played quite a few games last time.
Yeah.
This was one of the games that would actually take some time. So yeah, 5 to 10 people. And try to keep it to that.
Yeah.
And the first hour was taken up with,
That was on the timetable.
yeah, opening scene and plus Da Vinci's sad moment.
Yeah.
Revenge are having a meltdown. Understandably.
Yeah.
As things keep happening and he's just a boy.
A lot of your characters deserve a good meltdown.
No.
Except Brimstone, apparently.
No.
Brimstone
Deserve-
doesn't deserve a good meltdown. He needs a good meltdown.
No.
Alright. While we're on break, because I don't actually have to go to the bathroom or anything, or go acquire new liquids, I'm going to watch a pineapple be spun at high speeds.
Ah.
A thousand meltdown requires that nothing be near her while everything explodes.
Or something she really hates. Hey, oh, she's turning an entire section of the cult into slag glass.
Yeah, when Failsy has a meltdown, it's literally a meltdown.
Yeah. That's just when Failsy unlocked her not draconic heritage and just starts breathing acid like a fucking dragon.
That's when she just turns into Vegeta and just all spell slots, all sorcery points in one attack. That's something.
I would like to acid!
Final
Oh,
splash!
that.
I would like to acid.
Oh shit!
I would like to acid. Okay, where would you like to acid?
Yes.
Everything. Everything? Everything!
Did I hesitate? Or did I stutter?
It's when she just finally breaks, when it's just, Graham and Arya locked in combat for some reason. Just, that's it! Killing you both! Ugh. I guess the good thing about Graham is that, he can come back. It'll be a bit, probably, but he'll be back.
Yeah, it'd take a few days.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because the gods can choose when they come back.
No. I picture, like, when Failsy snaps, it just snap cuts to Tim's tower out in the mountains. He's just sitting there having a cup of tea while looking at a book. And then just in the window, a nuclear explosion of acid starts to exude.
He just looks out the window, just goes,
Oh, dear.
must be Tuesday. Flips to the next page.
Oh, boy, brownies! He's reading a cookbook.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some libations.
Tim seems like the kind of guy to just read whatever's on hand.
19 different ways to prepare fried steaks.
Okay.
I don't eat steak, but fair enough.
If phone books were a thing, this man has read the phone book cover to
Yes.
cover every time.
He has read a dictionary in every language.
Even the ones he didn't understand. He kind of does now.
Yes, and now allow me to open this book that Da Vinci recommended me. Huh.
The Kama Sutra.
Oh my.
These are some very flexible people. Not sure the purpose this serves.
It's a stretching guide.
It's a cooperative stretching guide.
Wait. Oh. Great.
These people appear to be fornicating.
Great.
What a weird stretch.
I wonder, what does that serve to their brain?
It's like the idea of Ataraxis reading that and just... This seems incredibly complex for no real reason.
This is too much unnecessary movement for something that does not take that much effort.
But other people enjoy it. Why? There are far more useful things to be doing with your time. Well, they don't think so, because they're mortal and stupid. Anyways, time to torture my son again.
Oh, here I go, committing an atrocity again.
That's your third one this week. Is that it? Well, it's
I need
only
to up
Monday.
my quota.
Well, it's only Monday. Ah. I guess that depends. Are we counting the week starting on Sundays or Mondays?
Monday, sir.
Oh, okay. I suppose we're about on quota then.
Haven't met my weekly quota for annoying my son, but I can't find him, which is disconcerting.
I can't find him.
You find
I don't
him.
know. I don't know if I'm impressed or annoyed.
A little bit of both.
I'm watching the pineapple wood turning video. It's every bit as absurd as you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the pineapple to fly off the lathe and brand someone.
I don't think
It
it's going
actually-
to.
It actually does not.
Cowards.
I mean, he sealed it to the lathe with resin, so I don't think it can fly off. It's not heavy enough.
Okay.
But it's really funny because he's turning the middle part of it, and the middle part just starts wiggling and slinging around.
Yeah, that created a
Yes.
huge mess.
Yeah, he just has like a line of pineapple gore going across his shop.
Yep.
It's making a horrible noise.
It is too.
Just like a wet, gooey slapping.
I love that that's the first thing he actually gets his wife to try out running something on a lathe.
To be fair, very not dangerous. Chance of being injured by it, low.
That is true. It's still funny to just say the first thing I ran on a lathe was a pineapple, but
I mean, no one else can say that. She has an achievement that no one else has. Pineapple lathe.
yeah.
And then he drank the pineapple. Nasty pineapple.
I'm very curious as to what about the pineapple made him react that way.
Well, for one, he was drinking the juice from right next to the rind of the pineapple.
Delicious.
So already it's going to be bitter, more bitter than the rest of the flesh. And secondarily, I don't think he cleaned his tool off before doing that, so it probably still had like wood turning oil on it.
Oh, the can I turn a pineapple on the lathe video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I imagine the inside of that pineapple had like nastiness on it.
Oh, most definitely.
Alright, is everyone back and good to continue?
Yeah.
I got one ye.
And bake.
That's the equivalent of a Mythosia ye. I heard a Denny ye. I heard a very gentle Failsy here.
I hear. I just-
Failsy was getting things.
Alrighty then. So everyone's back, we continue. Oh yeah, let's see, what does Monaghan get as a reward? Just so you can write it down. No, okay. Okay. You actually get a vial of that weird rainbowy liquid. The wild magic potion.
Wow. Fitting, but wow.
As he presents it to you, he's just like, now be very careful with this. One sip and you never know what will happen. But it could get you out of a pinch. Or make that pinch worse. Excellent for pranks.
Jug.
To know.
You take it.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
She's not gonna take a sip of it or anything. She will just take it as it is handed to her.
Fair enough. Just immediately slams it. Just like, I'm your problem now.
No.
No, you take it and pocket it.
Yeah. And it is on my sheet.
And as I said, unfortunately we can't get to any of the other games I had planned, but maybe we'll go over those at a later point. The rest of the day goes along with you all doing other festivities. Watching as Dravinche takes turns in the barrel rolling, frankly based on his base performance and or acrobatic skills, he would not fall off. I don't think he could roll low enough to fall off.
He just.
You have
Now
to roll
that
a
now-
5 to fall. You have to roll a 5 to fall off. Travinci with like a fucking probably +8, +7 acrobatics.
Yes, +7 acrobatics, and if it's dexterity saves, it's +8.
Yeah, it would be acrobatics, but yeah. So yeah, just Dravinche totally owning the barrel rolling competition, and Lee doing surprisingly well at the giant boar riding competition.
That doesn't surprise me. Lee's done weirder shit.
But it's not because he holds on well, but it's because the boar doesn't try to buck him off because he's just petting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, this is nice.
Who's your go piggy?
Yeah. And eventually the person running that booth is just like, sir, you have to get off the pig. Your turn's over. You won.
Like a vial
Okay.
of mild magic.
One vial of mild magic.
You know, it's alright.
Right.
You pour it on your stove, you get a nice
little-
cooking fire of the day.
A little spiciness.
Ah, there we go.
But yeah. Most of the rest of the day goes off without a hitch. Some occasional weirdness, as is the case with your group. But as the sun has gone down and the festival is sort of winding more into the relaxed nightlife, you all start to see as a lot of people seem to be gathering towards the plazas. So let me change the ambiance.
As the day kind of went on, Dravinche would try to subtly, occasionally sneak at the watch.
Yeah. It is progressing as it has the last 2 days, slowly ticking towards the next hour as the midnight hour draws closer.
Yeah, doing his best to keep the normal calmness he usually has.
Yeah.
But he's starting to show a few cracks of distress or concern.
Fair enough, fair enough. As you all just make your way towards the plaza, there are a lot of people gathering around. Men, women, children of all ages, many different races being represented here, as you've noticed in your time just wandering about this city. A lot of elven races, a lot of these creatures that you can tell are probably yokai in more human disguises. That word got broken weirdly in my brain. But just, they're generally gathering, just having conversation, as a large central area of the plaza is being cleared for some kind of stage. And you actually watch as, at this point, it's probably actually getting close to midnight. You can see the moon is reaching a fairly high point in the sky now. And the smaller of the two moons has actually started to move behind the other moon.
Oh, ready up. The radiant moon is going to start. Keep your eyes to the sky.
Yeah. If Dravenche will let her, Morgan will take his hand.
He's not really hasn't really noticed her until she's actually holding on to his hand. Just looks at her and then with a bit of a shocked expression, a light smile, and then looks back up to the sky.
Smiles back at him and looks back up as well.
Well, as you are looking up, you can hear a voice from one of the announcers starts calling out. Here we are again, on another most pleasant of eves, leading us into the radiant moon. An event well known in these parts. Very beautiful, very confusing, a spiritual experience for those who witness it. The harvestmen of our area have already begun their reaping, as they've made sure that all of our lost souls are properly moving forward and onward onto their next life. There's a bit of a murmur in the crowd as that is said. Definitely hear some of it seems a bit more joyous, other ones seem a bit more reserved about the notion. The speaker just continues. Yes, I know. It is a strange occasion. Somber, yet wondrous. And one we witness every year. But it is an important one, as without it, our people, lost to this world, would not see a new life, as they deserve to. But that is the way of things. You all know this. I would just ask that you all bring your hands before yourselves as we raise our final prayers to the souls departing to the next life. As the moon above opens the way for them to pass on. And you all see around you a bunch of individuals, not everyone, but quite a few individuals. They sort of bring their hands forward The tips of their fingers crossing, thumbs pressed together at the tips, just in front of their faces. It seems like a sort of prayer. It'd be up to you all if you would follow in the same example.
Venture would.
As would Morrigan, this kind of fits with her own beliefs and such.
I also follow suit if Jamel's doing so.
Yeah. Jamel would do so. This is technically the same faith as what her people have. I'm assuming Brimstone does not.
Today's been a weird day. And Brimstone's a little jumpy.
Fair enough. But fair enough. A few moments pass. There is that distinct sort of silence that does overtake the crowd. Before you all who would hear the announcer's voice again. All right. Let us see them off. Cast your eyes to the sky so that we may see them passing on. And you see semi in unison, per the prompting, many of the individuals around you as they open their eyes from this prayer-like stance and look up. And it doesn't take long to notice that something's wrong. You hear people around you start to murmur, a very concerned sound. People questioning something that's wrong. As you all look up, the smaller of the two moons has just started to drift behind the larger of the two. And nothing seems to change. And to most of you, that's not that weird. But Dravinche, that is
not right.
very wrong.
That's not right at all.
What do you mean?
There's supposed to be an aura, right?
Yes, the entire sky should be radiant right now. Please don't tell me something's already happening. Derminchi will frantically look back at the watch.
You look at the watch. At this point, it would be... I mean, it's hard to tell given how it's moving right now, but it's... If it were working the way it should be working, it's mere seconds from ticking over. You will just hear this crack sound suddenly, like glass shattering. But it's strange because it's not coming from any specific direction.
As you look up, is there anything wrong with the moon?
There's a crack forming on the surface of the moon.
Which one, large or small?
The large one, the only one you can currently see.
What's going on?
This has to be something from Game Master, right? He was supposed to be coming.
That, or we've got a second Corvanus issue happening.
It almost does look like it's splitting down open vertically. Though it's slightly at an angle. Perhaps your worst suspicions are confirmed for a second. As you can see, the features on the moon, the spots that would normally be on its surface, contort and bend till an eye, another eye, and a mouth open up.
Oh fuck.
Oh no.
But it doesn't stop. At this point, the crowd around you starts to panic, rush. Some of them starting to stumble backwards. Hasn't quite gotten to the point of people running, but you can definitely feel the sensation of people gaining tension as this starts happening. The
No.
most bizarre thing you see, though, is what's happening to that mask. Normally, the face you see of Game Master is a featureless, perfectly white, smiling face. But the edges of this mask are curling and bending to the point where one corner of it suddenly snaps off as the other contorts upwards into what almost looks like a horn. At this point, people start running. And the announcer, they try to start calming the crowd. You just see as a black tendril rips down from the sky and hits them. And they just start speaking. When the pieces align and the hour is nigh, a great crack shall appear within the sky. And it keeps getting stranger. The mass seems to... it's growing closer or smaller. It's strange. It's not any bigger, but it's no longer taking the moon. You can see the moon backlighting it. But these black tendrils start to come out of the back of the mask. You hear this terrible ripping sound. And the creaking of bones. The announcer continues. A creak of bone and flesh fresh reborn. With cloth in tatters and porcelain shorn. And there's a sound around you as more of these tendrils start to move around the crowd, and at this point everyone is running. You all start to be pushed away from each other by the sheer force of the mass of bodies moving against you. And it's strange, a sound not unlike that of a violin string being pulled to the point of breaking. With strings drawn taut and foretold disaster. As the mask continues to pull open, and something folds out the back of it, you all see this figure. As the final words are said, "Arise the puppet, once known as Game Master."
What the fuck?
No.
You all start hearing screams in the crowd as these tendrils start seemingly piercing through people and pulling them back. You all have been pushed away from each other at this point. It's hard to see your companions, but what are you doing? I'm gonna switch the music.
Province is going to first look around to see if he can see any other group. And barring that, he's going to start charging towards the stage.
Alright then. What's everyone else doing in this moment?
Well, that's some spooky fucking shit. And I've found that spooky fucking shit doesn't like my sword that doesn't like spooky fucking shit.
At this point, this figure is still high in the air, but you just see these tendrils, almost like the strings of a puppet, drifting down from the night sky towards people.
Is it possible to cut these tendrils?
Do you try to?
I'm gonna fucking try.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
You find one of the people who has seemingly fallen catatonic on the ground with one of these strange black twine-like vines coming out of them. You try to slice at it.
Mm.
Alright. Both of you, go ahead and make an attack roll. Morrigan, Failsy, what are you doing?
The crowd's probably blocking any chance of Failsy catching a glimpse of any allies, so she's going to pop her wings and hop onto a rooftop because she can't see shit. Aside from big spooky pop-up man in the sky.
Fair enough. Alrighty then. Both of you go to slash at these tendrils, and there's an immediate sensation of something being wrong. There's this weird static that immediately races up both of your arms as your blades make contact with these things. Dravinche, you hit it hard enough, you think you should have cut through it. But it's the strangest sensation. You look down at the blade, and as you're pulling it away, having not cut through, your cutlass, it normally has this gleam about it. But for a few seconds after touching that tendril, it just doesn't. The blade seems dull. It regains the shine, but it's strange. The same thing seems to happen for the Blade of Oceanic Order.
Da Vinci is going to continue rushing towards the stage.
Yeah, at this point.
Alright. You all can go ahead and make perception checks. Morrigan, you will have advantage, and so will Failsy.
Okay.
5.
Perception
8.
12.
I forgot, none of you have wisdom either.
No, our person who has good perception isn't here right now.
Yeah. You're all looking around trying to find each other.
There's a fuck ton of people moving.
Yeah, there are just so many people moving. It's even hard to make out someone like Jamel or Lee in this crowd. Sure, they're big, but they're probably being swept away by the sheer force of everything.
Mm-hmm. Jamel can't really use her wings without knocking people to the fucking ground, too.
Yeah, and she actually cares.
That didn't really, so I'm pretty sure she knocks a couple people over.
Definitely.
Well, but the difference is Failsy, whose wings are relatively small, in comparison to Jamel, who has a sizable wingspan to carry that much mass.
Yeah. But, Dravinche, you just keep trying to push forward towards the stage. It's hard to do. There are so many people pushing back against you as you're trying to be the only one moving forward in a crowd of people moving backward. The same thing is going on for you, Brimstone. Failsy, you do start to see signs of where Jamel is being pushed to. She's just sort of... She's actually helping people, like, stand up as they're being pushed down by other people running back.
Helping people from being crushed.
Pretty much, yeah. Morrigan, you do actually... You don't see anything, but you hear something.
Oh.
It's hard to make out the words through the ruckus of the crowd around you. But you hear a stern male voice. You think you recognize it, though it's hard to tell for certain. Coming from one of the alleys.
Just look over that way.
Alright, go ahead and make another perception check.
Please roll well. 11.
It's above a 10. You do see your father as he's trying to usher people into the alleyways, trying to get them away from the main crowd. Like, trying to divert this flow of bodies just away from where this attack is being performed. You actually watch as he seems to notice something and starts running out of the alleyway, and you lose sight of him for a moment.
Oh, crap.
Alright, what's everyone doing?
And Dravinche used some of his arrow dancing technique to jump above the people and start crowd running.
Yeah. I think you could.
Sorry,
Yeah,
people,
you...
on your heads.
It's like in a kung fu movie where they like run on people's heads, but the people don't notice.
Yeah.
Run like the wind, literally. Yes. Getting tired of being constantly pushed back against, feeling all of this resistance, you know you just need to put yourself in a position where there will be no resistance. You jump upwards and start landing on people's shoulders, and some people are initially confused, but just ignore you as you're running forward from what they wish to run away from. At this point, several people have been pierced by these tendrils. It's hard to count how many, but you see at least 10, maybe more, probably more at this point, as you are pushing forward in the crowd. Morrigan fails you, and Brimstone, what are you doing?
Would I have noticed Dravenche running towards danger?
At this point, you would, yeah.
I'll follow through across the rooftops then.
Alright then.
Oh, god damn it.
Are you flying, or are you trying to run across rooftops?
Flying, since I still have the wings for a minute or so.
Okay. Alright, I would need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Brimstone and Morrigan, what are you doing?
Morrigan's going toward the stage, keeping an eye out for her father, and avoiding the tendrils if she can as she goes.
Alright then. They don't seem to be going for you immediately. They're just piercing into the crowd as the whole. Honestly, the best way you could avoid them is pushing towards the side, like along the buildings where your father was actually pushing forward at. That'd be the easiest way for you to get to him.
And that's what she's doing then.
Alright. Failsy, as you start flying forwards, trying to get to where everything is happening along these rooftops, one of the tendrils brushes against your wings, and they're suddenly just gone.
Ow.
You feel this terrible, like, electrical sensation. It's not painful, but it's a jolt to your system and immediately breaks the spell. And you just drop onto one of the rooftops.
Ow. Just sort of groan. Tries to get back up again.
Brimstone.
This masked entity, is it still, like, descending?
It does seem to be descending, yes. As you're seeing it now, it is definitely the size of a person. You don't know how that's possible. Magic bullshit, you have to guess. Because it was certainly much larger before.
How far away is it?
At this point, it's probably a good 200, 240 feet in the air. And from your current position, probably about 100 feet forward.
Okay.
It's rapidly descending at this point, though.
Does it seem to be descending about onto the stage?
Seems about that, yeah. You don't know if it's actually going to touch the ground, but it does seem to be moving towards that area.
Right, moving towards that direction. I imagine it's brief with how many people are just storming around, but if I can see any of the people who've been pierced through by these tendrils, how do they look?
It's weird. They don't look like they're in pain. They just seem to have collapsed suddenly.
Right.
And the tendrils, like, because you're right next to one from where you tried to slash through one.
Mm-hmm.
As you look, it doesn't actually look like it pierced them. Like, there's no wound, there's no blood. It just seems like it phased into them. Like, even their clothes are not damaged.
Okay. Absent another solution, just keep trying to make for the stage.
Alright. At this point, make an athletics check to see if you can actually push through.
Boy, athletics. Oh, I do have proficiency in that. Apparently, yes.
Alright,
I have a sword.
You have a sword and a military background.
Yeah.
It's less pushing through by trying to move forwards and more staking your position and not getting pushed back as you continue making slow but steady progress towards the stage.
Keeping the blade out, but switching it to my right hand, I will also draw my revolver.
Alrighty then. You do so. You draw your revolver as you are at this point getting...
use them in tandem necessarily, but I can have them both out.
Yeah. As you are pushing forward, you're starting to get towards the front of the crowd. Dravenche definitely is ahead of you. He's probably, at this point, almost broken away from the crowd entirely.
He has
and you're
the advantage of not having to deal with
people.
Reverse flow of dealing with moving upstream.
Yeah. Alright then.
Damn fancy boy win bullshit.
This is the difference between canoeing up a stream and just being able to water walk.
Fair enough.
As strong as I might be, I still have to fight the current. Dravenche does not.
Yeah. Alrighty then. As the scene progresses forward, Dravenche, you finally land ahead of the crowd as it's pushing away from the stage. You land about 30 feet away from the stage at this point from how everyone's been pushing away from it. Morrigan, you are breaking through, and you actually see as your father... you watch as he is actually moving ahead of someone and gets hit by one of these tendrils.
Father!
It's not hard for the rest of the group to hear that as the crowd is currently thinning out around everyone. Thalesy, you're kind of stuck on a rooftop right now.
Fuck.
At this point, you just have to hunker down and hope you don't get hit. Dravenche, you definitely did hear that as she is breaking towards the front of the crowd as well, having found a path of least resistance to boot.
She's just gunning it for her dad.
Yeah. You watch as Gregory does not drop like other people did upon being hit by one of these tendrils. And in fact, he keeps moving in front of them as they're going for more people trying to retreat from the crowd. He's hit by 2, 3, 4 of them before he finally bends onto his knees, and you actually get to the point of catching up with him.
Father!
What again?
It's me!
You should be running, little shadow.
Not without you!
Go! He just seems to be grunting and trying to push you back for for what no strength he seems to have in his arm right now. You see this weird blackness start spreading through the veins of his arms from where the points of these tendrils are connected to him.
I'm gonna come back, okay?
I always do, little Shadow. I always do.
She just is like looking for anyone that can help right now.
Given the line of sight, you see as Dravinche breaks ahead of the crowd.
She just starts booking it toward him.
Alright then. You start booking it towards him, and Dravinche, you feel it click. And you notice something. One of those tendrils coming down right behind Morrigan.
How far away is she from me?
That crowd was pretty big. More than probably about 100 feet right now. Maybe more, it's hard to tell. You're rushing at this moment. It's probably more.
As his perception seems to slow. Tick. 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 He glances at the watch that he still was holding in his other hand. See how close the second hand is to hitting the 12.
You feel as the seconds seem to crawl, as you seem to be on a strange moment of slowed perception as the second is ticking over to 12.
Vinci, to his perception, slow motion, twists his hand, his finger ticking along a dial, his pinky finger ticking along a dial. Looks up to Morrigan as the tendril is about to hit her, and clicks the watch.
Everything turns gray around you. You can feel seconds tick.
Dravinche threw the watch for 3 rounds of time stop.
Yeah!
Yes, you see as everything around you suddenly turns gray as this sensation. I don't know if we've ever discussed Dravinche having used this before after he got it.
Nope. This is... Well, he's used it a few times since he's got it.
But not often.
But not often. It certainly has not been ever since he has joined the group.
Of course. You click the dial, hit the button on the top of the watch, and watch as everything around you stops. The procession of the tendrils down from the sky stops. The figure floating down from the sky stops. Everything stops. Except for you. You can feel the seconds ticking away. You have to move.
Dravinche immediately will use all of his training, triggering long strider on himself, and run. So with the amount of time he's given, he has about 200 feet of movement.
And run, and you run. The seconds tick by. 5, 10, 15. She was further than you thought. You're just going to make it. Or are you? The grayness around you seems to start to crack.
Is Mad Dad pushing it? And just as the time stop starts to wear off, he jumps towards Morrigan, specifically putting himself in the path of the tendril.
Alright. You leap forwards. Morrigan, to your perception, you looked over at Dravinche, and he just became a blur. His whole body almost seeming to stretch forward impossibly, motion moving far faster than you would ever think is possible, until in an instant he went from hundreds of feet away from you to right in front of you, and jumping past you? It's in that same seemingly slowed perception that your head turns to follow his trajectory, as he is hit by a tendril that seemingly was meant for you.
She just lets out a blood-curdling, heart-wrenching scream. I don't want to hurt anybody's eardrums, so I'm not actually going to do it.
That's fair.
Please don't. I like hearing.
It's a scream that reverberates and shakes the air around you, almost threatening to bust your own eardrums as you watch as Dravinche suddenly just falls to the ground. You don't know how long this moment's been. Everything is happening so quickly. You don't know what just happened. As your attention is turned to Dravinche, Brimstone, and Failsy, from your positions, you watch as the figure stops descending, about 90 feet from the ground. And speaks. Too long. Too long. You fools have just been allowed to play with your powers, flaunt your abilities, ruin everything. Gregory collapses. Dravinche, you feel it's not a pain, but it's a numbness spreading through your body.
He's going to try to fight it as best he can.
You try, you fight it, you push yourself up onto your hands and your knees, but you can't find strength in your legs. You can't find the strength in your arms to push yourself up. You don't know what this sensation is. It's foreign. It does not feel right.
Morrigan? Morrigan, do one of two things. Run, or kick that guy's ass extra hard for me.
She just nods.
At this point, Brimstone, you break through the crowd. You can see the situation off to your left at this point, with Dravinche on the ground, trying to push himself up as one of these tendrils has gone into his chest. Morrigan over him. The figure you know as Gregory, with 4 of these tendrils further off to the side, just collapsed on the floor. And this figure floating above you.
Morrigan. Da Vinci, with just the last bit of his strength, will hold out the pocket watch to Morrigan.
With shaking hands, she'll take it.
Too long. And the figure reaches forward its hand. Forward and then up until it grabs one of the strings connected to it and pulls. And that sound, that constant whining of threads pulled taut, you suddenly hear them start snapping as the tendrils pull upwards once more. You are just left with this singular numbness. I'm taking back what you don't deserve. The weave is too good for you.
Can Da Vinci say anything right now?
You're still conscious, but you just feel wrong.
Fuck you, Game Master.
The head just lolls over. The first time it seemingly addresses an individual directly rather than the crowd as a whole. No. I don't know what I am, but it's no Game Master. That is a taste of what will happen to you. Go forward with your lives and don't touch the weave anymore. He draws his fingers across the string still connected to him, and with a discordant sound, vanishes. As if a puppet cut from his strings, dropping into nothingness. Da Vinci, you can start to feel the pins and needles of sensation in your extremities again. But something still feels wrong. You can feel strength in your arms and legs again. Just like that, above, the moon, once white, begins to glow with radiant light. As whatever that was is now gone.
Vinci, once trying to push himself up, feeling sensation back into his limbs, just collapses.
Da Vinci!
Stays laying on the ground.
Morrigan is just going right to him.
Elsie's gonna get herself off the roof.
Yeah, you do so. Takes a second, but manage to find a way to climb down. At this point, your group is the only one. Your group and the individuals who are either unconscious or just not wanting to move, scattered around the plaza, are the only ones present.
I'm gonna go to Gregory.
You go to Gregory. You see these weird black veins on his body. and he is catatonic right now. He just completely, he's gone. He's not dead, he's breathing, but he's not responsive.
Morrigan's just gonna take Dravince's face in her hands and just make him look up at her. Are you still with us? Please. Dravince, please, I can't lose you.
You see Dravince's eyes flicker as he looks towards you. Just slowly, with a weakened hand or weakened arm, holds his hand up to your face. Once a bodyguard, ever a bodyguard, right?
There's just tears streaming down her face. But she nods. Whatever that did to you, we'll figure out how to fix it, okay?
I don't care. Stopped it from happening to you.
Brimstone. Gregory
Yeah.
seems to come to. Just with a start, just... Ugh. Ugh.
Alright, you're alive. Let's start. Just kind of offer a hand if he feels strong enough to lift himself back up.
He does, but he doesn't get to his feet. He just sits up.
Yeah.
I feel awful.
Yeah. I'm betting a lot of people will.
Yeah, you do find Jamel again, Failsy. She is alright. But as you are checking and finding her, you do find that these hit a lot more people that you all did not see. It seemed to follow the crowd.
I kind of want to check, like, any other people around to see if they have the similar, like, black veins.
You look around, going between a couple of the people you saw hit, seeing where they got hit, where it's exposed, like on an arm, like on the back or anything like that. You don't see any of those black veins. As you look around at people, it seems like that only happened to Gregory. Even Dravince has no signs of that.
Failsy can't see, but I, the player, can suspect why.
Just kind of, like, roll as many people as they can on their sides, in case, you know, they wake up throwing up or some shit.
Yeah, recovery position.
Exactly. Just as many as I could, as many as I feel comfortable getting to, and then just come back and just...
Oh, that don't feel right.
You're the only one affected like this.
You watch he, like, flexes his hand, and you can hear, like, creaking in his bones. Where's Morgan? And he, like, pushes himself up as much as he can.
Yeah, just kind of shift, because I figure he's standing between Gregory's line side of Morrigan and Morrigan.
Probably.
Just shift off to the side. She's fine. She almost took one of those things. Dravince jumped between them.
Maybe he's a better lad than I thought he was.
He is. He's a better guy than I don't think a lot of people give him credit for.
fuck.
Hmm.
Oh, it feels like everything got punched at once.
I mean, you took 4 of them.
Better me than someone else.
Alright, I'll give you that.
He manages to get himself up onto his feet. And as he's making his way over to Morrigan, and you all try to assess what all has happened, that is where we'll end for tonight.
May I do one last thing?
If it's not too long, but yes, go ahead.
Just... Morrigan, help me look up to the sky.
Of course, of course.
Mr. Vinci is kind of flipped onto his back. Because I pictured he was either on his stomach or on his side.
Yeah, you did do like a flying leap over Morrigan.
No. The Da Vinci will weakly hold his hand up to the sky. And for one of the rare few times you've heard him actually say it, he will speak out the arcane words, Ventus Hercare, and tries to use Gust.
Nothing happens.
Oh, God.
His hands just starts to shake. With his entire arm shaken, lowers it, and then collapses it down onto the ground. And he doesn't respond any further other than just breathing.
You distinctly start to feel ticking. And that's what we'll end for tonight.
Oh, holy shit. Hi, Andy. How do we explain Keta having not been part of all this? Did Lee just pick her up and be like, nope, 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 run away?
Yes.
I mean, either that or she disappeared in magic.
Lee
It was literally grab Keta, throw over shoulder, run.
Lee
Yeah,
used
the
his
moment-
Lee powers of disappearance and just was gone.
The moment anything funky started to happen with the moon, just Lee is immediate. Nope, we're out.
Nope, let's go.
Nope, this
The
always
baby-
go bad for Keta. Leave now.
Yeah. Baby has bad things happen when shit goes funky. We leaving.
Interesting fact is, Cat is still, like, dealing with some inner shit, so that would have been fun if she stuck around. But, hi, sorry about that. Like I said, I didn't know if I was going to make it to this session or not, but yeah.
You made it for the end of the trauma.
Yeah.
So did
So the
Da Vinci's
important part.
magic get taken like I thought it would?
You'll find out later.
Okay.
No,
Something
it
happened.
hit Gregory, and Gregory isn't magic.
He got hit with 4 of
I'm
them.
suspecting, isn't Gregory a
Revenant.
No.
Let's close for the night, people. Discussion afterwards.
Yes. Discussion afterwards, where you can explain what the fuck happened to the moon.
Oh, I'm not going to. I have to get ready to leave. I might get back on later and explain.
Nobody else can explain to me what the fuck happened to the moon.
Alright.
Okay, so, trauma aside,
I do so love it.
does anyone have anything they want to promote, shout out, or
I do.
announce?
I
Go
do.
Before
for it,
that,
Andy.
before that, Andy.
Oh, yes,
Fine.
DM first.
Yes. No offense, but I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I'm joking. Obviously. Or am I?
It's okay.
Anyways. My thing I just wanted to say was that our lovely piece of artwork we have here was done by one of my artist friends who I do enjoy commissioning and get commissions from constantly because they keep producing good results. I'll provide their safer work Twitter handle, and if you want to find the not safer work, just look for Demon instead. But Pastel Deity on Twitter.
Ah, yes. Demon
We-
deity. Got it.
Yes. Where you can actually, if you go onto their Twitter right now and scroll down a little bit, you'll actually find a design artwork for this character, who I might share later. But yes, I wanted to shout out, obviously, the artist who created the trauma.
And just
Gotta give proper credit to the trauma.
well, and also
Oh,
we need
yeah.
to credit the artist because that is some fucking spooky ass art. This is such the perfect session for the night before Halloween.
Yeah. By the way, they're also the artist who did all of the artwork for Sonata.
Ah.
Ooh.
I think I follow them on Twitter.
That wouldn't be surprising.
But yes, for anyone listening to the VOD who can't quite see it, it is Pastel Deity, all one word. Pastel is spelled as you would expect, as is the word deity. All one word, all lowercase.
Yes.
Am I good to go?
Yes.
Alright. So hi. I have a few things to promote. So,
You come in only to promote. Ah!
as normal, I would like to promote my friend Will Is Your Thrill. He does amazing, wonderful art. And that is Will with one L is Your Thrill, all lowercase on Twitter. And then I would like to promote my friend's homebrew, as I've seen it. It's very good. It is the Elemental Power and Rattling Bones racial options. It is constructs and things of that nature. Very well done by the Moth-Eaten Press on the Unskilled. He goes by Lake Druid on Twitter. He is working on a Bloodborne inspired compendium, actually.
Real shit.
Hold on, give me a moment. Sorry. Yes, he's working on a Bloodborne inspired compendium of, I believe, monsters and then subclasses for different classes. And for those who do check out the Moth-Eaten Press on Dan's Guild, one of the other artists who did most of the art for the the construct and undead compendium is TK Pinkerton. Wonderful art. It is actually promoted as TK Stinkerton on Twitter.
Stinker.
They have a comic called Color of Space. They have wonderful art, and I love their art so much. I cannot recommend checking out their art enough. So yeah, that is me.
Nice. Anyone else?
I'm good, just sitting back, enjoying what happened.
And
Some freshly served trauma for you. Hope you like it. You don't
It's
get to make any
so-
returns.
hold on.
Oh, it was
Art-
quite lovely.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
no refunds.
Dravince's had a great time of things so far. Why not just, finally... No, I'm kidding. It's just another stick in the shit fire for Dravince. It's not fun. But I have nothing, no.
Okay, so if that is the case, if you like this and you want to see the aftermath of what the fuck just happened, oh boy, you can join us most Saturdays on this channel, which is Danny_Boop on twitch.tv. You can find us here most Saturdays at or around 8 p.m. EST. Hey, we were only 2 minutes late tonight, guys.
And only a few minutes over.
Yeah. But yes, you can find us here most Saturdays at or around 8 p.m. EST, provided, schedules allow for it, for more Scattered Realms.
If we
And
played at 8 a.m., it would be so much easier to get Failsy in here.
yeah, that would be like Friday evening.
But I would
for
not be
Failsy.
here.
Nor would I.
Yeah.
Me work.
I'd be awake.
I would be awake and at work.
I would probably be getting ready for work because it seems my manager likes to start me at 10 a.m.
Oh, I wish. That would be so nice.
Retail, not food service. What can I say?
I know.
But as for, if you like this kind of vibe we have here on this channel, but your taste for D&D lead more urban fantasy, you can still enjoy that here. Just join us on most Thursdays at or around 7 p.m. EST for more Project Ada. Things are a little wibbly wobbly with schedules at the moment, but I think we're working it out. We're figuring things out. We play when we can with that one.
We might start doing some one-shots or something on Thursdays just to fill the time slot.
Provided I don't have to work a closing shift, which,
Yeah.
if my hours don't change, we can do that this week.
Yeah. Alright.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you when we see you next, and happy Halloween.
What the fuck happened to the moon?